Hi everyone, Melissa Doherty here for Stockton Unified School District, Stockton City SELPA. And today there's been multiple requests regarding how do we report a do not qualify initial IEP. Surveys have been out, emails have been coming in, and this seems to be a most frequently asked request. So the department has decided to give a quick tutorial on how to report does not qualify. So first I'm going to show you Rosie Resources screen, and hopefully I've deleted everything for our history with her. And we are going to start from the beginning on how we could best appropriately report a does not qualify. First and foremost, of course, you're going to have your invitation as evidence that the IEP meeting did occur. And then on the Information and Eligibility page, you want to make sure that you have the following fields reported. The first thing is, of course, the date of the IEP meeting. Now, if the student does not qualify for special education services, there will not be a next annual date, so you want to leave that blank. You also want to leave the next reevaluation date, since the student does not qualify, as a blank as well. Be sure to put the last reevaluation date in. That would be the date of the initial IEP, as it's stated above the day of the IEP meeting. Again, check your meeting type. This would be an initial. Initials are the only type of meetings where students do not qualify. Along with that, if there's additional purposes to the meeting, you could go ahead and report that, and go ahead and scroll down, verify information, so on and so forth. And then when you get to the bottom of the page where it says indicate disabilities, yes or no, make sure that these are left as select one. Again, both primary and secondary disability is reported as select one, as a student does not qualify. Also, be sure that you put not eligible for special education. It's very important that this little box is clicked. Along with that, just to be sure that it is written, the student doesn't qualify, this as making this statement below and how the student's disability affects, as the student again does not qualify for special education services. I'd like for you to go ahead and put a couple of asterisks and then report student does not qualify for special education services at this time. Also, after you've written that statement, I want you to highlight that and copy that. We're going to add that to a couple of other pages for this initial IEP. Along with that, make sure for the initial placement, all of your information has been entered correctly. It's very important that we document this information as far as the initial goes, and that we have those timelines. Go ahead and click Save. I want you to go to the next page. Now, as you go through the IEP process, you should be at that table discussing the student's strengths, even in an initial. You should be discussing parents' concerns, even at the initial. And then along with that, present levels should be reported. So again, along with that, present levels should be reported to show that the team did their diligences and their efforts of showing that assessments were done and the student does have present level of performance. This should be also data in the student's IEP. Whether or not the student qualifies or does not qualify, this information should be included. Along with that, when the team is showing that the student does not qualify for special education services via the special education reports that we use to determine eligibility, the area of need, of course, is not going to be something that the team is going to be discussing, as the student does not qualify for special education services. So again, on this page, although the team did do the present levels, I would like for you to go ahead and re-report that statement that the student does not qualify for special education services at this time. And then at the same time, reporting on the does not qualify IEP, the areas that the team did review. So if the team does review this special factors page, be also sure to include that statement somewhere on this page. My personal preference is at the very bottom. And as you know, there are other pages that would no longer apply, and the team should be not discussing anything further nor developing an IEP if the student doesn't qualify. I do want to bring up one thing to be sure that you do enter this, and it's on the parent consent page. After you're done filling out all of this information, be sure that you also state that the parent does and that they understand that their child is not eligible for special education services. Because a does not qualify IEP is not affirmed and attested, we have to have evidence of all of that information was reported through an IEP process. This page particularly needs to be updated electronically to show verification to CDE and to CalPADS that the parent did understand that their child is not eligible for special education, both the physical copy where you do obtain the signatures as well as the electronic copy, as which that's the way that we report our information to the CalPADS. If you guys have any further questions or concerns, please let us know. And once again, contact your program specialist if you also have specific questions based on specific student cases. Thanks so much. Have a good day.